All right, welcome back. We're back here in the Raspberry Pi, and what we're going to work on today is thinking about more at a system level and what we would use a Raspberry Pi for. Well, the great thing is they're very simple embedded systems, uh, and what we mean by that is you can build a device uh, and you can make an Internet of Things thing out of that device, right? IoT. And so if it's going to be an IoT device, then you want users to be able to control it in some way via networking. And so that's what we're going to take a look at today is strategies for how we would go about that. And the simplest way is to just create a web interface right on the Raspberry Pi. By a web interface, what I mean is a web server. And a real simple and easy way to do that is using ASP.NET Core. And so we're going to install those on this Raspberry Pi. I chose this one uh, because it does have more memory. This is my 8 gigabyte Raspberry Pi. The other one's only 4 gigabytes of RAM. And so running a web server and other things on there might be a little tight with the operating system and everything else that's going on. So I figured we would use this one. And when we build up this web-based system, what we can do is also create a web API. And then we can use the web API, maybe we can build a phone app. And with the phone app, we can talk to the web API on the local device, on your local, using your local Wi-Fi on your local area network. We probably don't want to push these things out to across the internet, at least not just now. But we can do it over our local area network, and it's not a big step. That's really a matter of firewalls, whether you open that up to the internet or not. And it's a matter of IP addressing and setting up a domain and that sort of stuff, which I have, and I could do it here. I have a domain that we can push it through to get from the internet to the device. But well, for now, we'll just get the networking working. So first thing that we have to do then to do this is install .NET Core and the .NET and the ASP.NET Core runtime and the SDK. So now I'm running Raspian, which is a 32-bit operating system. So I'm going to show you here. I'm going to bring this web page over, and I'll put the link to this in the night. So this is in the notes below the video. This is the a site that tells you exactly how to set up .NET Core on the Raspberry Pi. So we're really looking for, what we're looking for here is the ARM version of these, and you'll see this over here. It's the final files we're going to is .NET SDK 3.1.102-linux-arm.tar.gz, and that's because we're an ARM processor. So let me move this out of the way. And we could go to the web on the Raspberry Pi, but I'm going to use the wget method of getting these, and we'll just grab this right here, the first one. This is for the yes, this is for the SDK, and this is for the runtime. Okay, so we'll start by making a folder here. Let's see, what do we want to do? We'll just make a folder. We'll call it .NET. cd.net, and I'm going to run this wget command. Well, they recommend that you do an update and upgrade first. They always do that. We'll see how it goes here. It takes a little while to run an upgrade anyway. So this wget that I just copy pasted out of here into here is just going to go out to this URL and grab that file. We'll need that one. So let's see how that goes. And if any of these downloads take a long time, I won't make you sit through the whole download, but I don't think they'll take terrible long. I have a fairly high-speed connection, so looks like that did pretty good. It did it in 8.6 megabytes per second. That's not too bad for a download like that. And we'll get this other one. Paste that in there. And then we also need the ASP. Well, we'll just start with these and get the .NET part working first. We should just be able to run tar, ZXF, and oh, it is ASP.NET Core. Okay, good. Runtime. Yep, that's the runtime. And then we want to do tar, CXF, and .NET in the same folder right here in our .NET folder. And then we're going to set some environment variables, and we'll be able to use our .NET command right here from. And I'm not going to install it system-wide. There's no need for that. So if we were to type .NET right now, we'd have to go .slant.net. See, there, it's running. It gives us a usage. So I'm going to come out of this directory now. It's got everything it needs there. And I'm going to set a couple of environment variables. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to set these in my profile. I'm just going to go ahead and copy these. And I'm going to go nano.profile. I'll just go in here down to the bottom of my profile. And I'll paste these in, and I'm going to modify them because I didn't use exactly the same folder they did. They called it .NET-ARM32. I'm just going to call it .NET. And so that'll put the .NET root as there and the path to there. Yes, and save that. And I'm going to do the Linux trick to import my profile into my current profile. I'm going to go .slant profile. I know that's a little confusing. The beginning dot out here means do this within my current bash session. Have the changes affect my current bash session, not a new bash session. Don't create a new bash session to run this. Run it in the current one. And the .slant tells you execute it here. It's in this folder, and then the name of the file is .profile. So if you're not familiar with that, we should be able to type .NET .not type it right, .NET, and there it is. So we can go .NET -- help .NET -- help. There we go. So .NET is installed. So it's simple as that, really. It's download two files, tar them in, untar them into a folder, and set the path and the .NET home in your profile, and you're ready to go running and building .NET applications. Now, later, we will have to make, well, we're going to have it run very possibly as its own user. So we may have to give some execute permissions to that server to get to this .NET instance that's running in our profile, or we might run it in the Pi profile. We'll see how we do that. So .NET is installed. Let's try something out here. Let's go. We've got a folder called projects. What do I have in there? CD projects. Raspberry Pi course. Okay. CD Raspberry Pi course. What have we been doing here? We did the blank. We did the GPIO stuff. Okay. Yeah, I'll just leave it here. That way I'll put it here. That way it'll end up, I believe. Oh no. These are all separate. No, this is a Git repository. Good. You know, there's something that I want to adjust right now. and I'll teach you about this. This is really about Git, because it kind of drives me nuts when I can't tell that I'm in a Git repository when I go into a directory. I have to look for the .git file folder here. So I'm just going to look up something real quick here. I think this is the one I like. Or was it this one? Yeah, this is the one I like. No, that's PS1. That's not it. Here it is. I'm going to add this to my profile again. I'm just going to copy paste this. This is the we'll just go nano dot profile, and we will just put this down here at the bottom, paste that in, dot slant dot profile. And now the Raspberry Pi prompt changed. That's okay. I don't need to see that in color. What I want to see is when I go to places like this and I go into Raspberry Pi course, aha. Now you notice I'm in the master branch. I know what branch I'm on, and I know it's a Git repository that I'm in when I go there. And if I'm changing branches, this is really good that you see on the prompt that you know what branch you're on. So anyway, let's make a quick project. Using, how did I end up here? Okay, I don't want that. I don't want that. Or did I lose it? Okay. .net minus help. It's been a while for me since I worked with this .net, so let me see. Add a package to build new is what we want. New project or file. So .net new minus help. Getting ready. Console application. That's right, it's console. So we'll just do this. .net new console. And how do we do the name? Options. How do we tell it the name? Oh, minus name. The name of the output being created. So we'll go minus name. .net check. And if this creates something crazy, we'll try it again. It's been a while since I used the .net command prompt, but I think we should have something here called .net check. We do. We have a folder. cd .net check. There it is. And now we can go .net build. And then we can go .net run. Hello world. And it works. .net is working. So take a quick look here at .net. Oh no, not .net. Nano program.cs. Now, Nano isn't doing us a whole lot of help here. So let's go instead code dot and bring up Visual Studio Code on that folder. And program.cs, and there we're getting syntax highlighting. That's nice. Do you want to install recommended extensions for C#? Yes, we'll install those. Microsoft doesn't need my usage data. The C# extension power. Okay, it's installed. And I think well, anyway, we can run it from the command prompt. We can go to terminal here and get a new terminal and change this to hello.net world. Come down here and go .net build. .net run. And there it is. And so what we have now is the ability to build .NET applications right here on our Raspberry Pi. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk in, let me see how much time we have here. This has taken a bit of time to go through, so we are sitting at 17 minutes. So yeah, I think that's about it for this video. In the next video, we'll start building up. What we're going to do is we're going to have to do a little planning also, but we'll look at building an ASP.NET application, running it in Kestrel, very simple little web application, and then how we can put Kestrel behind an external web server like Nginx, and get it accessible from outside. And we'll also have to look at how we can have a web application then control the Raspberry Pi. So what we'll do, we'll build up a little bit of electronics. We'll put probably just some LEDs on the project board. We'll hook them up to some GPIO pins, and then we'll build a web application that can control those LEDs. And we'll build a web API that can control those LEDs, and then we'll build some simple little phone app, which I'll probably do in Windows because I have an Android. My phone's an Android, so I will use the Android tools to build a simple phone app to talk to it, call the web API, execute commands, and turn lights on and off for my phone. So that sounds like a pretty interesting little project. And then you can see that those lights could be something else. They could be a pump, or a motor, or the controls of a little motorized car that you could control from a phone app. I don't know if we'd want to do controlling a car through a web interface. We'll see what the latency looks like when we do that. There's other routes we can go. There's other communication technology we can use. But we'll start with a web app and controlling some lights, because many of the principles will transfer. It's just a matter of the technology that we connect to and how we connect. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, hit that like button. If you really liked it, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.